All right, I'm back again. This video is gonna get a little crazy, probably like most of my videos, but this one's gonna go deep and it kind of connects with the last video about the whole blocking out the sun with particles thing. And it also goes into some other kind of esoteric topics that people in the conspiracy community might know about, and more recently, just people in the public would probably know about. So we're going to go down here to find out what Minovsky physics is first, and then we're going to find out what a Minovsky particle is. All right. According to the Gundam Century, MS Encyclopedia 2003, and Gundam officials, the Minovsky Physics Society was formed in Universal Century 0045 at the Space Colony Side 3. Their research was devoted to the development of a nuclear fusion reactor. By the year Universal Century 47, development of the Minovsky-Lonesko reactor began. This reactor, although designed by Dr. T.Y. Minovsky in his earlier days when he was serving the Earth Federation, was still a piece of black box technology and rendered him a heretic in the classical physics community. Classical physics is basically the same as real-life physics. This is the main reason for his termination of the service in the Earth Federation and taking his residence in Psi 3 prior to the 1-year war. However, seeing the horrors of the Zabi family's militaristic regime, Minovsky defected back and offered his expertise to the Federation. However, his intentions were implied very differently by the Earth Federation. Right? Now, here's the weird part, right? The reactant used a rare isotope of helium known as helium-3, i.e. 2 protons and 1 neutron in the nucleus. A helium-3 atom is fused with a deuterium atom, heavy hydrogen, to form the stable helium-4 and a single proton. Since the proton is positively charged, it can easily be trapped within a magnetic field. The main practical problem with this reaction is that helium-3 is extremely rare. There are a few deposits on Earth, mainly found in uranium sites, and these are mostly depleted. The Gundam world's fusion reactors rely on a constant supply of helium-3 imported from the outer solar system planet Jupiter, thus necessitating the beginning of the Jupiter energy fleet. Okay, we're not going to get too deep into that. Okay, so now that you know what Minovsky physics is and how they found the Minovsky particle, this is going to, it's going to be hard for you to deny that there's something weird going on here. Now, you might have seen the movie Iron Sky. You know, the one about the Nazi base on the moon, where they're trying to build the Gundam or whatever. They have the Gundam, and then they send a black guy up to the moon who they turn white and then send back to Earth. If you haven't seen this movie, I don't know what you're doing. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. Anyway, so in the movie, one of the main things that they come in contact with is this helium-3. Helium-3, or He3, is a light, non-radioactive isotope of helium with 2 protons and 1 neutron. It's rare on Earth, and it's sought for use in nuclear fusion research. The abundance of helium-3 is thought to be greater on the moon in this one, embedded in the upper layer of the regolith by the solar wind over billions of years. Though still in low quantity, 28 parts per million of lunar regolith is helium-4, and from 1 part per billion to 50 parts per billion is helium-3. And the solar system gas giants left over, so Jupiter, right? The solar system gas giants Jupiter, right? The main cannons of the Gundam and its reactors aboard the Nazi ship use helium-3 as fuel. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to Gundam Wing, and now that you see that this stuff is either, come on, I don't, you know what I'm saying? If you don't get this, and I just still sound like a lunatic to you, I don't know. I mean, maybe I am, but it's like really, I mean, obviously this was made after this, but this is about, you know, the Gundam, and this is supposed to be about like America. Fuck yeah, right? So, okay. So, what is a Minovsky particle specifically? According to the official guide of Mobile Suit Gundam, Gundam Century, and Gundam officials, the Minovsky Physics Society, while working on the reactor, encountered a strange electromagnetic wave in Universal Century 65 within the Minovsky-Lenesco reactor that could not be explained by conventional physics. Within the next few years, they identified the cause, a new elementary particle generated by the helium-3 reactor on the inner wall of the reactor, which was named the Minovsky particle, or M particle. The Minovsky particle has a near zero rest mass, though, like any particle, its mass increases to reflect its potential or kinetic energy and can carry either a positive or negative electrical charge. When scattered in open space or in the air, when scattered in open space or in the air, the repulsive forces between charged Minovsky particles cause them to spontaneously align in a regular cubic lattice structure called an eye field. The main use of the Minovsky particle was in combat and communication. When the Minovsky particle is spread in large numbers in the open air or in open space, the particles disrupt low-frequency electromagnetic radiation, such as microwaves and radio waves. The Minovsky particle also interferes with the operations of electronic circuitry and destroys unprotected circuits due to the particle's high electric charge, which act like a continuous electromagnetic pulse on metal objects. Because of the way Minovsky particles react with other types of radiation, radar systems and long-range wireless communication systems become useless, infrared signals are diffracted, and their accuracy decreases, and visible light is fogged. This became known as the Minovsky effect. The disruption of electromagnetic radiation is due to the small lattice of the eye field creating fringes that long wavelengths cannot penetrate and that diffract wavelengths that have similar distance with the fringes. This diffraction and polarization process disrupts the electromagnetic waves. Notice in real life, there is a similar experimental particle that could do the same thing in a few thousandths of a second, which is still not practical but proves the theory to be correct. A second use of the eye field and Minovsky particles in general was the repulsion of charged plasma and chargeless megaparticles from an eye field surface, which was the use both in power generation and armament technology. If controlled, the particles can form fringes of different widths and further interfere with electromagnetic waves of shorter wavelengths, right? Like the 5G stuff. This provides the basis for the miniaturizing of fusion reactors installed in mobile suits. Since a controlled eye field can block infrared waves, this reduces the heat from the thermonuclear reaction and reduces the need for coolant and shielding for the fusion reactors. Without such a field, a pilot would be boiled alive in a few nanoseconds and the suit would burst into superheated gases. Right. So then they talk about new types, right? People that have like psychic abilities, basically. And they do a lot of other stuff too. But yeah, so you can see that this basically is not made up. This whole Minovsky particle thing, it's not made up. It's like a real thing, right? Because it's the same thing. And then if you just got to watch Iron Sky, but basically like it's one of the helium-3 is actually one of the main focuses of the movie. Like if you haven't seen it, like you're really missing out. Okay, so that's what the Minovsky particles are, and then you can check my last video for people talking about how they want to use the military to block out the sun. So that's the video for now. I'll be back later. Talk to you then. Peace.